Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Jordy and welcome back to F1 23 My Team career mode for the Texas Grand Prix of our final season, Season 5. And if you missed last episode, it was the Qatar GP and only our third Qatar GP where we finally picked up a win. At a circuit that we've really struggled on in terms of just overall car setup and strategy. You know, other tracks like Jeddah and Baku, it can come down to skill, but yeah, Qatar was one of those that just fully came down to the setup and the tyre strategy, and we just never properly got it right. Of course, Season 1, we finished P5. We were lucky to get that. Season 2, yep, you guys all know that, DNF. But we finally picked up the win in, last episode. So this episode is Texas, which we haven't actually raced around since Season 1. So I haven't actually raced around this since last year, at least in my team career anyway. So the car is going to feel drastically different, but we were pretty strong around Texas in Season 1. Of course, it was late Season 1. It was around the time where a lot of the AI's engine wear was coming into play, and we saw that, and we decided to take advantage of it, and we got some really good finishes around that time. Of course, P3 in Texas, P4 in Mexico, P1 in Brazil, P3 in Vegas, and then everybody repaired their engines in time for Abu Dhabi. That hopefully won't happen this time. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm really excited to get into it, to be honest. Again, it's going to feel drastically different to what it did before. So, yeah, having a look at our vehicle right now, we seem to be pretty good all across the board. There's no real need to replace any of these parts, so I'm not going to. So, yeah, without further ado, we can actually just skip right on ahead to the Texas GP. The first of two United States Grand Prix that we do in this season. Of course, we're not doing Miami for this season, which was a shame. It was definitely one of the tracks that I unfortunately had to sacrifice. I do like the Miami track, but we hadn't done Texas since Season 1, and I'm not going to replace Vegas, as Vegas was new to this game. So, and it's a special race, you know, it's Las Vegas. Why would I replace it? Especially in the final season. But it's a sprint weekend. I actually forgot all about this. I actually forgot that it was a sprint weekend. So once again, another sprint coming up. And yeah, I did mention last episode, but I'll mention it again now as it's more relevant. The next episode will be the South American triple header live stream. I want to start speeding things up because F124 is coming out towards the end of the month. I have early access, so that gives me even less time to finish up with F123. So, yeah, the Mexican, Brazilian, and Portuguese Grand Prix we will be doing live next week. I'm recording this on the Thursday. I will hopefully have the episode out for the Saturday. So, Monday or Tuesday, one of those 2 days, we'll see about live streaming the next episode. It'll be a long one, the longest one we've done. Mind you, they were like 3 to 4 hours for 2 Grand Prix in Season 3 and 4. So yeah, it's going to be even longer. So it is going to be a really long F123 live stream. So if you really like the content, make sure you join then. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And, you know, click that notification bell. You know what to do. So let's have a look at the progress history. Of course, nothing. Again, I did say last episode that just seems to be it. So, yeah, we seem to have no surprises going on in terms of the weather. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into qualifying for the Texas Grand Prix. So here we go, our first lap of the Circuit of the Americas since Season 1. So from our first season up until our last season. Honestly, the car should feel drastically different, but honestly, only at low speeds. did I really detect any sort of difference. Obviously, I don't remember fully how it was like to drive in Season 1, of course, but what I can 100% say is that we're running the exact same setup. I have not changed a single thing, and usually, pretty much every single track, for this MyTeam car, I do have to change the setup. I have to apply more downforce, particularly on the front, because obviously, and on the rear as well, because obviously the MyTeam car does not have many braking upgrades at all, which sucks, and I really hope that changes in F124, but I highly doubt it. However, obviously, if you've been keeping up to date with F124 and the news that has come out about it, we'll have modifiers between seasons. Now, I'm unsure if this will apply to MyTeam. We'll give it a go. I think on the first ever stream that we do for F124, we'll play MyTeam, since I don't plan to do a MyTeam series on the game. But look at this. In our first lap, Liam Lawson impedes on our lap, unfortunately. So that's definitely going to cost us a few tenths, that's for sure. And I bump his wheel a little bit because I am not happy about that one. And honestly, on our second lap, isn't going too much better, but it is half a tenth. And there you go. We have a much better corner there because we've got a lot more grip. So look at how much time we are now gaining. This is incredible. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to F124 with those modifiers for sure, since we'll be doing driver career, and we'll be able to fully control, it seems as though anyway, we'll be able to fully control, you know, the regulations, or at least, yeah, we will. Like, we'll be able to equal the playing field quite a bit, which is always what you want to see. But there you go, 7 tenths up, and it's George Russell on pole. We have P3. Of course, people are still yet to finish their final lap, and we end up in P5. We've got Valtteri Bottas P2, Carlos Sainz P3, Théo Pourchaire P4, but the story of the day is George Russell, our teammate who's had an absolute nightmare of a second half for the season, but he is on pole for the sprint. So if he can get a sprint win, that would be really good for him. And here we are, about to get the sprint race underway, and here we go. It's not the best start from Bottas, and he actually blocks off Pourchaire, and because we've had a decent start, we'll be able to sandwich him just a little bit. And look at us going round the outside of Carlos Sainz, who runs into Bottas as well. So he didn't have the optimal racing line, and as a result we are now in P2, and George Russell is almost already a second ahead. So it's a perfect start for Slide Team Racing, the team here. Yeah, this is a dream start. Already P2, and at this point I don't really care if George wins. So I might actually end up defending this position and holding a lot of people back just to give Russell as much space as possible. But he's in clean air now, so yeah, if he's ever going to pick up a lot of points, if he's ever going to pick up a win, it needs to be now, because if he bottles this, oh god, I don't even know what to say. But yeah, we've got Bottas and Sainz not too far behind. Tsunoda and Pourchaire pretty close as well. The team will be starting to, not the team, the grid will be starting to form a gap between each other very soon. But yeah, so far so good for me and George Russell, of course, as we are now going to come round the final corner to finish off our first lap. Yeah, George Russell leading, and us in P2. So really excellent start for us. But look at this, lap 3 now. We've got a bit of overspeed here, so we might have to overtake George Russell. And Russell panics a little bit. He locks up, and we make contact. And as a result, we have actually lost P2 to Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes, who's got some pretty good pace, having the fastest lap and all that. So now we've got a bit of work to do to catch up to Bottas. Of course, if Bottas ends up overtaking Russell, yeah, we'll be in a bit of trouble. I really don't want Russell to lose that victory, but he's defended well so far, and we're going to have a really audacious dive down the inside, just about making it to the corner there, and George Russell is already nearly a second ahead. No, he is a second ahead once again, so we've cost Bottas a lot of time right there, but it's perfect for us. Lap 4, Bottas now trying to go around the outside. We get to the racing line first though, and that was a pretty good overtake from us, completing the overtake. However, it's not going to last long, or well, it is. Lap 6, and it's Carlos Sainz now looking for the overtake, and then look at how much time Russell has gained. We really started to defend the position at this point. George Russell takes the win here in the Texas Sprint. Hopefully that means he's finally broken his duck. Who knows? But yeah, he's going really slow at the finish line right there. Truly soaking it in. And we have taken driver of the day as well. So a pretty successful sprint right there.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles southeast of the city centre, has been home to the US Grand Prix since 2012, the latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles per hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position and the owner-driver alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Bottas, Tsunoda, Teo Pourchaire, Gasly, Perez, Norris, Verstappen, Ocon, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Liam Lawson, Albon, Drugovich, Sargent, Magnussen, De Vries, Deruvala, and Zhou Guanyu. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Let's have a chat about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
So, here we go, strategy time. And yeah, since it was a sprint weekend, I didn't really get to test the soft tyres other than the sprint race, which they didn't feel the greatest, especially since a lot of the guys behind me seem to be a little faster. I'm not too sure though. I really wasn't sure about what tyre to go for in the race. I actually started to look at the race director and saw that a lot of people were actually on softs. Tsunoda and Ocon, however, were on the hard, so they'll likely be going on to the mediums for their second and final stint. But yeah, really wasn't sure what to go with, but I decided to be a little safe and go with the mediums to hards strategy, because obviously the soft tyres have had a lot of tyre wear this season, so I don't really trust the soft tyres in race conditions, so definitely wasn't going to go with them. I mean, I kept deciding, but actually, if you look at the projected race time, the mediums actually seem to be quicker than the softs on the first stint. So we're going with the mediums.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Well, I'm hoping we've got it right. Of course, we are the only ones on the grid right now doing our first stint on the mediums. Now, whether or not that'll be a good strategy, I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens. It's very sunny skies here, perfect conditions for the return of the Texas Grand Prix. This track is really good. You might think that I didn't like it, but I do actually prefer Miami, and obviously just because of just how it looks, really. It looks so different to the rest of the calendar, and of course there's Las Vegas. But here we go, up to 5 red lights, and we are underway. Oh my god! Oh my god, that is an absolutely horrible start from our teammate. He's fallen out of the top 5. Oh my god. I cannot believe it. We are in P1 as a result since we started P2, but oh my god. Russell's fallen all the way down to P6. What is going on with my teammate? After the first half of the season, it looked to be like a surefire 1-2 in the driver's standings, but wow, he is completely just dropped off. He's in Sergio Perez mode for the second half of the season. He's in 6th. He is completely fallen from P1, bro, from pole position all the way down to P6. I genuinely am flabbergasted. His form, I don't know what it is, because it's nothing to do with focus. It's completely down to just, there must be something in the coding with George Russell, because he completely bottles it in the second half of the season. Like, if you remember some of his seasons in Aston Martin, he kind of seems to drop out of it in, you know, the second half of the season. Now, I always put that down to Aston Martin being, you know, slightly slower in upgrading, which is true, and obviously that is a factor, but I don't know, maybe it is something about the coding for George Russell's AI. He's just not that good in the second half of the season. I don't know. He's been absolutely awful, and nothing's really changed here. Of course, I'm trying so hard to get out of the slipstream here with Bottas, and we're fighting so hard with him. Of course, he's now side by side, actually momentarily taking P1, and I'm going to try and dive down the inside here. But yeah, those soft tyres are actually looking really, really good, as Bottas is finding it very easy to keep up with us. Of course, there is the factor of DRS as well. But yeah, so far, those soft tyres behind us definitely looking a lot stronger than these mediums, which is so strange, considering this is the point in the stint that we really should be pulling huge gaps, especially on the non-DRS zones. There's only 2 DRS zones, and there is a big gap between them. Like, we should be able to gain so much time compared, but we're just not. And I mean, look at the speed of that Mercedes right there. We saw it in Qatar, didn't we? With Lando Norris, and now we're seeing it with Valtteri Bottas, who's taking the lead. Wow, he's really fighting us here, but we are still defending quite well, taking the inside here, stopping any potential dive bombs, and now we'll have Carlos Sainz to contend with. But it's lap 8 now, and these soft tyres are really keeping up with us, like making it look easy. So it's just like Qatar. I don't understand what's happening. Like, there's so much tyre wear for the soft tyres in the sprint that I don't think they'll be viable for the race at all. But there's something about these sprint weekends as Carlos Sainz takes the P1 here, takes the position as Pierre Gasly starts to challenge Bottas. Bottas at the same time, though, challenging us, so we're going to have to try and keep up with Sainz while also simultaneously trying our best to keep up with Valtteri Bottas. We're looking to dive down the inside. That is the most audacious dive bomb I've ever seen, and honestly, yeah, the FIA rightfully give a warning for that, so I'm actually going to let Sainz retake the position. But at the same time, Valtteri Bottas takes advantage of the situation, and he takes P2. And our pit lap is actually this lap, but as you noticed earlier, we've actually changed our strategy to what we did in Qatar. We're going to the softs, to be quite honest, which is just so strange. It's very rare to go to the softs in the second stint, but yeah, that's what we're doing here as we now dive down the inside on lap 9 to retake the position from Valtteri Bottas. So yeah, now we set our sights on Sainz, but his pace is looking really good on those softs. He's got a pretty good lead as we now go on to lap 11, and Sainz is pitting. So you know what? I'm going to do the smart thing, and I'm going to follow him in. And he will be probably going on to the mediums. That's my guess. We'll be going on to the softs. Actually, I think I saw from the Ferrari pit crew, yes, Sainz will be going on to the hard tyres. So I don't know. I know how they feel. I wasn't, if I remember rightly, I wasn't too comfortable on the hards, especially in sector 1 for this track. But look at this now. Bottas, he's arriving. Our teammate also at the side of us as well. He'll be just behind us as Pourchaire is challenging for the position. Sainz sets his sights on Bottas, pretty much all focused on him, and now we are looking to take advantage side by side, and that might have looked like a corner cut overtake, but we were actually ahead by the time we got up to that point, so we didn't get a warning for that. But Sainz now looking to take the position back here on lap 12. We are fighting so hard with him, forcing him wide, but the Ferrari gets the better traction on those hards somehow. This is such a weird race, to be quite honest, and it's such a weird game at times, but I like it. I really like the chaos of it. I really like the unpredictability of it, but we defended that really well. Meanwhile, on lap 13, it's going from bad to worse for the pole sitter, as he's getting overtaken by not one but two cars, both Pourchaire and Tsunoda. So it's just not a good day in the office for George Russell. However, he might be able to get just a little bit of a consolation as he's now chasing down Yuki Tsunoda. Can he make the pass around the outside? He's going to make it a little bit difficult for himself. Our teammate here really needs to get something good out of this race, and to be honest, questions will be asked regardless on whether or not George Russell is even worthy of the seat after the performances that he's done so far this season. Meanwhile, lap 18, Carlos Sainz looking to challenge us around the outside. We're going to take the inside and once again get really aggressive with him, trying to force him back into Bottas pretty much. But yeah, these soft tyres now, they've definitely gone off as we are really struggling now to make it through Sector 1. Bottas has actually managed to overtake Sainz, so good work from Valtteri, but we're going to be in a bit of trouble now. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is exactly like Qatar, but unlike Qatar, it's a lot easier to defend as well. A lot of these corners, these slow sections, we've actually squeezed Bottas so much that Sainz has retook P2 here, and now Sainz is going to get another opportunity with DRS to overtake us here. We're going to try and make it a little difficult for him. Pourchaire and Bottas are there as well. Oh my god, it's so close, and I'm not able to fully take the inside as Bottas is taking that as well, and we're actually going to slow down quite a bit here to defend against Bottas. I'm also trying to push back the grid to give Russell as best a chance as possible of gaining any more positions. I really want to get double podiums again. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe it might come down to engine wear. I haven't actually thought of that, because engine wear hasn't really come into play since season 2, I think. So, you know, or at least I haven't noticed it really come into play since season 2. So maybe it might be down to that. Maybe George Russell is actually using his parts as long as he possibly can to do that. But lap 20 now, the final lap, and it's Théo Pourchaire in the Aston Martin. What a great season it has been for him, to be quite honest. And he's starring in a lot of people's MyTeams. He just must have some pretty good coding in F1 23, and of course he won't be in next year's game. Lawson, say next year, literally it's coming out in a couple of weeks. Lawson, who's also on the grid, he won't be in the game. Drugovich, also on the grid, won't be in the game as well. It's going to look drastically different, but here we go now, ready to cross the line for the win.
Fantastic! Yes, come on, we've won it! We are the Drivers' World Champion! What a result! Enjoy this one, my friend, enjoy it!
Well, it's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. That's a spectacular victory, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they managed their tyres to absolute perfection. A tyre whisperer, in fact. And that is what set them apart.
No podium cutscene today. We're getting the championship win cutscene, and I'd like to correct what I said earlier. I'm pretty sure Théo Pourchaire might still be in the game because, you know, they have to do the last season of, you know, the F2 for the career mode. So I'm pretty sure Pourchaire will still be in the game, so that would be really cool. But yeah, a little correction there. What matters is we are the drivers' champion once again, and for the final time, as this is the final season, of course. But that is 4 drivers' championships in a row now. It's been such a dominating era for us. And yeah, we're about to get the constructors as well. So honestly, I'm glad the series is ending here because, you know, like I've said in previous episodes, we've kind of mastered this game at this point with my preferred settings. There's no real place to really go past this. We could do a driver career, but again, I know the AI, I know my difficulty, and yeah, I can't wait to just start a new game with a different feeling handling, even if it is worse than F1 23, which I think it will be. I still think that, you know, it's better to have a completely new handling because, yeah, we've been playing, I've done 420 odd hours for F1 23, so I am about ready for a new game. But guys, reminder, next episode will be a triple header live stream, really long live stream, longest career live stream in the series. And then after that, we've got the final 2 episodes. So yeah, subscribe if you're new, because I will be doing that tomorrow, the live stream tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully I see you guys there. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button as high as you possibly can, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Until next time, peace.